I'm doing up shit. Fuck all that young shit. I'm cool with up shit. Type shit. Activity. I'm doing up shit. Fuck all that young shit. I'm cool with up shit. Type shit. Activity.
What up, what up, what up, what up, what up, people? Welcome back to Unc Be Streaming with your favorite Unc. What's good, nieces and nephews, on this fine Tuesday. Today is Tuesday, September the 30th. Tomorrow's October the 1st, aka the first day of spooky season. Anybody that knows me, my mic is acting weird. Just give me a second to keep going in and out. Anybody that knows me knows that Halloween is most definitely my favorite holiday. Anybody that knows me knows that Halloween is my favorite holiday. I get a new costume every year. Sometimes I get two. Sometimes I get a costume to go trick-or-treating with my daughter. We might want to coordinate or something. And or it might be a little extra. And then I also get a costume so I can go out. Because I love Halloween parties, right? And sometimes I try to get a costume that covers both, but I have like these strict rules to my costumes for when I go out. I just have basic rules like I can't wear a full mask that covers my face because I'm going to want to be drinking. You know what I'm saying? Like what we talking about here? I can't have both my hands got to be free so that I can hold my drinks. When I go out, I like to get a shot and a beer or something. So I'm two-fisted, you know? So my hands got to be free. I can't wear a full face mask on Halloween because I got to keep moving that shit to drink. So those are my Halloween costume rules. No full face mask. Hands got to be free. Other than that, you know, I just find stuff. I've been pirates and I was the Riddler one year. I was Ash from Pokemon last year. Shit like that. So yeah, Halloween coming up. Got a comic book convention coming up this weekend. My daughter wanted to go. Comic book says anime convention. Convention. I'm dressing up as a character from Demon Slayer. If you haven't seen the anime, I'm dressing up as the character. I can't really pronounce his name. My daughter can say all those Japanese names, and I think it's really cute and it's really amazing. She said all the Japanese names like perfectly. I'm dressing up as the guy that's the sound Harisha, however you say it. He's a demon slayer. He's the one with the three wives. He got the white hair. He got the swords with the chain connected to each end of the sword. He was the main demon slayer that was helping them fight doing the entertainment district saga. So I got his costume, so I'm wearing that to the convention. Not sure if I'm gonna spin the block on that costume for Halloween. We shall see. Anyway, what up, people? Let me get to the show because I do gotta pick up my daughter from school today. Before we start, though, don't forget the like, subscribe, comment, and please share. It doesn't cost you a penny, a nickel, or a dime. A penny, a nickel, or a dime is 100% free. But if you want to support the channel, the cash out's right there, $UnBeStreaming. We greatly appreciate it. And anything donated, we go directly to funding the channel with the various apps and software that I use to give you the content that I'm giving you. Shout out to the replay game for the few people that come and watch me throughout the week. You can be anywhere else and do anything with your time, but you come choose to check out my videos. Even though y'all not here live, your presence is greatly appreciated. Don't forget to hit that like button when you check it out, replay game, or the other dislike button, whatever you want to do. Leave some comments, agree, disagree, talk shit, suggestions, complaints, and concerns. Any comments will be greatly appreciated, and also reply to in a timely manner. With that said, we're going to get to the show. Today, we're going to be talking about the trolley problem. And we're going to talk about psychopath versus narcissist versus sociopath. We're going to talk about psychopath versus narcissist versus sociopath. And then we're going to get into the trolley problem because that shit's kind of technically. Oh, man, I am a tongue-tied dog catcher today. I'm going to go ahead and do it for you, MS Best. I done fucked up twice. Let me go ahead and do it for you.
Once a ton of pine. 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 Once a ton of pine.
So yeah, we're gonna be talking about the trolley problem. And you're probably asking yourself, yeah, see, you already asking the trolley problem. What is the trolley problem, right? Well, I'm glad you asked that, and I'm glad I prepare. I have the definition right here. The trolley problem is a series of thought experiments in ethics, psychological, and artificial intelligence involving stylized ethical dilemmas of whether to sacrifice one person to save a large number. So I have this game called the trolley problem, and we're gonna look into that later and check it out. I saw a couple clips of people playing it, and it seemed pretty cool. And you know, it's just something different, something to try out here instead of like the chaos. With that said, let's get to it though. Let's start off with psychopath versus narcissist versus sociopath. The thing about those three, especially sociopath and narcissist, they get thrown around very loosely a lot. They're just loose as fuck. People just be saying shit. You know, any guy or gal that do you wrong or don't kiss your ass or don't agree with you, it's called a sociopath. I mean a narcissist. I usually see our female counterparts throwing that word around more than the male counterparts, in my opinion. We ain't got time for all that psychological babble. If a chick acting like a bitch, we'll just say she a bitch. We don't have to call her a narcissist and all that psychoanalyzing stuff, right? So we're going to I'm gonna tell y'all what I think they are based on my limited knowledge, and then we might watch a video, do some research, figure out some shit together. But I know one thing for sure, that a lot of those three things, psychopath, sociopath, narcissist, it's way more of those amongst us than we think. Not saying it's way a whole bunch of psychopaths or a whole bunch of, but combined, out of sociopath, psychopath, and narcissist, it's more, we run into more of one of those than we think we do when we just interacting outside in these streets. On this YouTube channel. Now, I don't talk about narcissists before, right? As we know, being a narcissist has to be clinically diagnosed. However, we all have narcissistic traits. My rule of thumb is if a person has over half of the narcissistic traits, I'm just gonna conduct myself with them as if they are one and not deal with them like that. Because even if you're not clinically diagnosed as one, if you got fucking 10 other traits or some shit, I'm still gonna have to deal with a bunch of the same shit that you would get dealing with a narcissist. So even though it's not official, you're getting the same headache. Like, let's look at some of these traits. Think about, like, let's say a person is not a clinically diagnosed narcissist, right? But let's look at, these are 9 signs. I've seen lists with more signs, but this one say 9. So let's say it's 9 signs. It's a person got 5 of these, or maybe even 4. You might as well just, even if they're not clinically diagnosed, you're getting the same narcissistic bullshit. So you might as well get up out of there. A narcissist believes they're special and unique. It's perfectly okay to think you're a little special, but narcissistic people take it to the extreme, believing they are so special that they can only be understood by other people they deem special. This is why they seek to surround themselves with people they believe to be the best. You have a narcissist has an exaggerated sense of self-importance. People with NPD, narcissistic personality disorder, want to be recognized as being superior without the necessary achievements that go along with that. A narcissist will routinely overestimate their abilities while simultaneously devaluing the contributions of other people, and they may act surprised when they don't receive the praise they feel they deserve. Often, if they aren't reaching the level of success they expect to, they find a way to blame other people or society and never themselves. That's 2 things, 2 traits that they consist of. You run across that, not saying they're a narcissist, but that's 2 things that narcissist traits have. So you're dealing with somebody that has some of that behavior. And like I said, we all have narcissistic traits, okay? We all have them to some degree. But if you got too many or your shit too extreme, even though you're not clinically diagnosed, I suggest you abort mission. Where we at? A narcissist requires excessive admiration. Despite the fact that people with narcissistic personality disorder often act boastful and overconfident, their self-esteem can actually be pretty fragile. They have a tendency to be preoccupied with how they are perceived by other people and feel shocked or disappointed when people don't lay on the flattery. This can be particularly true in romantic relationships. Oh, hell Narcissists love you as long as you idolize them. Damn, you gotta idolize your bitch. Damn. They fuss with you long as you idolize them. Damn near worship, I guess. Where was I? Narcissists love you as long as you idolize them. They seem lovely and wonderful and shower you with attention until you assert yourself. Then you might see a mean streak you didn't see before, and it's scary. Definitely experienced that. Dealing with someone that was the most amazing person in the world until shit didn't go their way. Till you had to deny them something. Till you had to say no. Till you, as it says, assert yourself. Until you assert yourself, and Lord, the monster came out. The mask came off. The mask of a narcissist come off, they would give you fucking hell. Another trait for a narcissist. Again, not saying if a person, everybody have narcissistic traits. Not saying, not clinically diagnosing someone, but if it's 9 traits and someone got 4 or 5, if you smart, or if these traits are intense, if they got 4 or 5 of these traits at an intense level, it don't matter if they clinically diagnosed or not, your life gonna be hell regardless, so abort mission. A narcissist has a sense of entitlement, a big sense of entitlement. Narcissists often believes the rules don't apply to them. This can present itself as being disrespectful to people who want respect, like authority figures and national heroes. They are also the type of people who will make you bend over backwards to accommodate them and then show no appreciation for your kindness. You can plan an entire event around this one person's schedule and they might not even show up. It doesn't even occur to them that they just piss everyone off. Definitely dealt with people like that. Definitely dealt with people that would be coming at you in a time of need, asking for something, acting real nice. You do it for them. They thank you. Two days later, or maybe 30 minutes later, they acting crazy or talking shit like you didn't even do nothing for them. Because in their mind, you didn't. You didn't do nothing for them. You did what they deserve because they fucking special. You didn't do them a favor. You paid your dues. You showed your reverence. When a person think you showing them reverence that they do, as if they're down there godlike, you're never gonna get any gratitude for your actions. Narcissists are notorious for being unable to empathize with the struggles or pains of others. Sometimes a person with narcissistic personality disorder can seem totally reasonable until they say something that's just outrageously insensitive. They be the person that complains about how annoying their father is to someone whose father just died. On the flip side, narcissists will often talk at length about their own troubles and believe that people should genuinely care. Let me tell you something. These motherfuckers we're dealing with a person like that, you can come home, man, I'm tired. Ooh, man, the forklift broke down and we had to unload this truck by hand. We had to take everything off by hand. I'm wore out. You come in the house dragging your feet. But if that narcissist wanted you to do something when you got home from work for them, they're going to act like they didn't hear shit you just said. They didn't hear you say the forklift broke down, that you and a couple other guys had to unload the 18-wheeler by hand. You're going to say that shit, and they're going to be like, oh yeah, so we about to go blah, blah, blah. Like, you know what I'm saying? So you're going to get that kind of shit. A narcissist is envious of others and believes other people envy them. Narcissists are constantly comparing themselves to others, especially very successful people, which can trigger feelings of envy. If they do achieve success in their lives, they often enjoy thinking others are jealous and envious of them, says Newman. A narcissist behaves in an arrogant or haughty manner. Ever go on a date with someone who ordered the most expensive bottle of wine on the menu, acted very sweet and charming towards you, and yet was completely condescending and rude to the server? Acting arrogant or snobbish while complaining about the stupidity of others that you feel superior to is another red flag of narcissism. We all done been on that date with that person that's just baffles you with their behavior towards the wait staff. You're sitting there like, oh my God, like who is this woman? Or if you're a woman dating a man, well, who is this person that I'm fucking sitting across from? Like, what is this? I can't get jiggy with this shit, you know?
Emotional damage.
I will fucking leave. A narcissist is preoccupied with the fantasies of success and the perfect mate. Narcissists may ruminate excessively on achieving power, success, and respect from other powerful people. They may even play a role in how they pick a romantic partner. Research shows that narcissists place more importance on physical attractiveness and status than personality traits such as kindness or compassion. This is in part because when their trophy partner looks good, it reflects on themselves and elevates their own self-image. Last but not least, a narcissist takes advantage of others. A narcissist's sense of entitlement combined with their lack of empathy makes them ripe for taking advantage of people for their own benefit. This is one reason people with narcissistic personality disorder can be terrible to work for. If you have a narcissistic boss, they may work you into the ground without giving you the respect or compensation you deserve. It can be true with friendships too. Many of us can say we had a fair weather pal who always seems too busy with their fabulous life to spend with you. This is until you have those extra Beyonce tickets. Now all of a sudden, they got time for you. And yes, MS Best, I see you can't let it go. So I'm going to address it. Yes, you are right. Yes, you are right. I'm not avoiding it. It's just that it's obvious. It's obvious. Why state what needs to be stated? But I'll say it out loud. The vast majority of the things I just read It's common everyday behavior for the vast majority of women. Women walk around with the vast majority of those narcissistic traits I just listed. I said this before, I think the vast majority of women are functioning sociopaths. But let's get into it. So, we talking about psychopaths, sociopaths, and narcissists, right? I just talked on narcissists because that's the one people talk about the most. But a lot of people like to say things and mix them up and blend them and all that. Now they do have some carryover, but at the same time, there are some key distinctions, some key differences, obviously. So you got the psychopaths, right? Psychopaths usually have like little to no emotions, extreme emotional detachment, right? And they have very, very, very poor impulse control. Which often leads to the acts of violence. Now, since psychopaths have a certain level of emotional detachment, of course, they're going to lack empathy. And like I said, narcissists lack empathy too. So like I said, it's some overlap in this. But narcissists usually lack empathy primarily because they're desperate for a need for attention and admiration and validation from others. And they less likely to engage in impulsive or violent behavior. One of the big things that separate psychopaths from sociopaths and narcissists is the impulse control of the violent behavior. That's one of the key differences. There are other differences, obviously, but if you met a person that was a sociopath or a psychopath, they're going to, on the outside, seem very similar with how their personality traits. And it's the impulse control in the violent acts that makes a difference. So people like, what makes a motherfucker become a psychopath, right? It is believed to have genetic and neurological roots, potentially affecting parts of the brain responsible for emotions. So it is commonly believed and perceived that you are born a psychopath. I want to say your environment and upbringing makes you a sociopath, and some trauma and things like that make you a narcissist, if I'm not mistaken. But it's generally believed that you're born a sociopath. I mean, the psychopath, sorry. Psychopaths have a severe lack of empathy and emotional depth. And this the worst part for psychopaths. And you is severe lack of no guilt or remorse for their actions. And you see this often in sociopaths too. Narcissists feel guilt and remorse for their actions, but only because you see them a different way. They only have that kind of guilt and remorse because they got caught, and now they don't look like the greatest person in the world no more in your eyes. Psychopaths could care less what the fuck you think about them at all. Which is a person with no conscience is an extremely dangerous person. That's why sociopaths are extremely dangerous. Psychopaths are dangerous too, because it's like sociopath with a dash of violence. You feel me? It's already a person with no conscience, barely any empathy, but to add on being capable of violence without giving a fuck is scary. Now, sociopaths will act out, but not in violence. But they will try to. They really don't care much about what they do. So, sociopaths are primarily shaped by environmental factors like trauma and child abuse. Their behavior is impulsive, volatile, disorganized. They have a emotional debt. They have a difficulty understanding emotions, and they often have shallow relationships. See, psychopaths have severe lack of empathy and emotions. Like I said, they can peel you like a goddamn banana and ain't gonna understand why you fucking screaming. And a lot of those people, they study people, they watching, they always observing, and they often learn how to simulate emotions to fit in and things like that. That's why a lot of people say a lot of the most infamous serial killers and stuff were often quite charming. You have to be charming to get your victim, you know? How can you get victims if you are not able to get people to even come around you and be around you? And let's be clear, sociopaths and narcissists also like to have victims. Yeah, sociopaths have a limited conscience and remorse for actions. So psychopaths barely have any conscience and don't feel any remorse. Sociopaths are limited. They also may have difficulty maintaining stable lifestyles due to being impulsive. You know that person. They can't hold a job, can't keep a man or a woman. Everything is always their fault. I mean, someone else's fault. They're always the victim. Everybody else always the bad guy. They don't have the emotional depth. Like I said, difficulty understanding others' emotions. They don't have the emotional depth to understand and see that they might be the problem. In narcissistic personality disorder, environmental factors play a role in development. Behavior: grandiose, entitled, preoccupied with fantasies of success and power. They lack empathy, lacks empathy, but has a strong need for admiration and validation. They can feel guilt. Narcissists, like I said, can feel guilt or shame, but it's often related to how others view them, not what the fuck they did to you. Ain't that some shit? They feel guilt and shame, but it's not because they fucked over you. It's because you realize the shit. Because you call them out on the shit. They seek admiration and may be seen as calculated, but generally less prone to impulsivity and violence than those with psychopathy and sociopathy. So yes, narcissists ain't big on violence, but let me be clear. They will try to destroy you. Don't get it twisted. That's why I say the vast majority of women have narcissistic traits. Because think about it, their toxic femininity, right? I did a show on there on my other channel before. I might bring it back. One of the key components of toxic femininity and why women do it, because they don't really have the physical strength or combat skills in a lot of cases to, when they get mad with you, to destroy you with ease. So they use things like gossip, reputation ruining, sabotage. That's how they attack. They call the police and say you hit them. They call your job and come up to your job with some chaos and get you fired. They slash tires, bash windows. They do false rape charges, things of that nature. Like, they will, narcissists will lash out, and you can definitely cause chaos in a person's life without violence. So, to sum it up, psychopaths are born, sociopaths are made, and narcissists are influenced by their goddamn environment. Their motivation, because these people do got motivation. Psychopaths and sociopaths are not motivated by social acceptance, and that's clear. To be motivated by social acceptance, you gotta have empathy, remorse, and things like that. You pretty much gotta care about what people say and think. And a psychopath can never care about what a person say or think, because no, you can't never say you care about what a person say or think if you're willing to kill their ass. You know what I'm saying? Like, when people say violence, it's usually physical. Physical. Psychopaths are calculating, sociopaths are impulsive, and narcissists are focused on appearing upstanding. A narcissist, let me tell you something, they will destroy your life to protect their little made up reputation or idea of being special. They will destroy your life to protect their fantasy of who they are. All lack empathy. But narcissists are more sensitive to others' views regarding their own status. Again, like I said, psychopaths and sociopaths don't care as much about what you think of them, because that ability to perceive, grasp, understand, connect to emotions just ain't really clicking. It's kind of like a robot playing a human in a lot of cases. It's cosplaying. Sociopaths are really good at cosplaying humans. Psychopaths can cosplay humans too, but I don't think they're as good as sociopaths. But they're good enough to, lure in a victim sometimes. But you have to be one of those people that can see through their synthetic charm. That's what we're going to call it. Psychopaths and sociopaths, and sometimes narcissists, often narcissists too, has something that I don't know if it's a word, I don't know if I'm coining it or not, but it's that synthetic charm. Shit ain't real, straight up synthetic. She's just like straight manufactured charm, and it works on people. But I personally can tell when someone's blowing smoke up my ass. I never was needy enough to fall for fake compliments and praise and things like that. So the little manipulation tactics that some of those in fake charm that those kind of people might try to use never would have worked on me. Like I said, we all got narcissistic traits. I think I'm probably a little more the narcissistic traits I have, that I think I'm smarter and lot more logical than a lot of motherfuckers. I firmly believe that. I firmly believe that my critical thinking skills are above the average citizen. I guess when it comes to narcissistic traits, that you can say that's my sense of superiority, my sense of grandeur, whatever, So like I said, we all have narcissistic traits. And that's one I know I have for sure. But we're going to watch this little video. Y'all heard my little synopsis, but let's see what this person talking about. I'm pretty sure they studied up on it. Might be a doctor, therapist, who fucking knows. Let's check it out. This channel is called, what is this channel called? Wellness Lens, like the lenses in your glasses. Let's check it out, the video.
And psychopath around. When someone We've all been guilty of this, throwing labels like narcissist and psychopath around when someone is difficult to deal with. The most important thing to remember is that they are not all serial killers like you see in the movies. Secondly, all of those terms are distinct labels that qualify as psychological disorders. Welcome to our channel, where we talk about the journey to self-development. If you're new here, we trust you're going to love this video. And if you're a subscriber, thank you for coming back. Without further ado, here we go. Today we'll be talking about a very common confusion most people face when dealing with a difficult or selfish person. Is this person a narcissist or a sociopath? How do we even know the difference between all these labels when they have too many overlapping features? We'll talk about how to tell.
That's what I was saying earlier. They definitely have a lot of overlapping features. That's why I was breaking down the key components, the violence. Not saying a sociopath or a narcissist can't be violent, but the intensity of violence and the level of violence that psychopaths are capable of clearly stands out.
The difference between a psychopath, a sociopath, and a narcissist when you are around one. Knowing this distinction is really important, so you're better equipped to deal with them. Later in the video, I'm going to show you how best you can handle relationships with psychopaths and the rest of them. Because yes, navigating these kinds of relationships always requires peculiar methods. So I've observed that the biggest cause of the confusion is that too many similarities exist between these terms. If you want to prevent yourself from using them interchangeably, you'll have to learn their differences. Beginning with narcissism, you'll find that narcissistic people primarily struggle in their interpersonal relationships because they tend to have this insatiable need for excessive praise and recognition. This affects their connection with others because, with some, much focus on their own self-worth and superiority. There's just no room to be able to see others, let alone connect meaningfully with them. Narcissists also end up exhibiting unusual behaviors in their attempt to re-establish control and win the admiration of others. And you know what happens when they fail at this? Feelings of isolation set in. And few people know this, but there are different kinds of narcissism. Two, actually. Covert narcissism and overt narcissism. The underlying motivation for both is the same, so the difference lies in the expression. While overt narcissists may be attention-seeking, covert narcissists tend to be shy while holding on to their arrogance. Overt narcissists also have a grandiose view of their achievements and can be extremely self-obsessive. People with covert narcissism have the aching need for admiration too, but alongside this are insecure and often in distress. Call this vulnerability, if you like, but the best way to understand covert narcissism is by picturing someone who has low self-esteem, is oversensitive to criticism, yet has a sense of superiority that may not be so obvious. The thing with narcissism is that it can be challenging to diagnose, because how do you reconcile these conflicting traits? For instance, being charming and yet obsessive with seeking attention, plus conditions like depression or anxiety may trigger some of these traits which are identical to narcissistic behaviors. Aside from these categories I've just talked about, there is a second classification, or types, if you like, of narcissists that I think you should be aware of. Some of you may have heard the classic
Yo, this dude breaking it the fuck down. I didn't know it was so much flavor to narcissist. They got more different flavors than that box of oatmeal with all the different flavors packets. You know, it got the apple one, the cinnamon one, the regular. Oh yeah, you know that shit I'm talking about. This shit got more. Well, narcissism got more flavor Then Baskin Robbins. What Baskin Robbins? Up to 31 flavors? Yo, 31 flavors of narcissism. Let's get into it.
Vulnerable and malignant narcissists that I think you should be aware of. Some of you may have heard the classic vulnerable and malignant narcissists. The classic narcissists are the typical narcissists. The kinds you think of immediately. There's a mention of the word braggarts, always fishing for compliments and feeling like they're entitled to special care. If you are that person, or know someone who automatically becomes bored when the discussion topic switches from them to someone else, then they're likely a good example of a classic narcissist.
That's how that Chanel chick is. That's why I don't like her. She passive aggressive. She asked them, I cussed her out last night. She asked those loaded, weird ass questions. If you got something to say, just say it. But she be asking these questions to try to guide, create narrative, pull something out of you, loaded leading question. I got a question. And the questions always be off topic, they be weird. And I can tell when someone's trying to ask a leading fucking question because I'm not stupid. But if y'all notice, next time she come on DJ Wish Out the shit, you notice she loves to center herself. That's why she be like, can I ask a question? Can I ask a question? Can I ask a question? Because when she asks the question, she puts the focus back on her. Because at that point, everybody talking about other shit, but then she asks the question, she draws the focus to her because you gotta talk to her and answer her question. If they not talking about to her about some shit she said, she usually just conveniently drops herself on the panel. If she been quiet too long, or nobody been asking her something, if she been quiet too long, instead of just contributing to the conversation as is, I got a question, which recenters her. And yeah, I peep the shit. Nobody else ain't got to, but I don't fuck with her. She fake, she phony. I don't fuck with her. And people say, I don't fuck with her because she's a woman. Because I don't fuck with Sharon, who's biologically a man, I think, for the same reason. I don't like bitch ass, fake ass, passive aggressive behavior. I don't give a fuck who it come from. See, people think, you women this, women that. No. Anybody that do the shit I don't like, I'm gonna cuss them out and I fuck with them. You know, do y'all motherfuckers really think that if a bitch spit in my face or a nigga spit in my face, they not gonna get served the same shit? You feel me? Do you really think if a nigga spit in my face and a bitch spit in my face, if a nigga disrespect and a bitch disrespect, they not gonna get the same motherfucking cruiser or missile? I don't cuss motherfuckers out or talk shit to people because of their gender. I cuss them out and talk shit to them because of who the fuck they are, because of their character, because of their goddamn behavior. And I laugh at people that even think or try to slick suggest that shit, cause I'm gonna say it here right now. Clip this shit. If you think I won't talk certain way or do certain shit with a nigga, try me, bitch. Try me. You get the same work, you get the same smoke, and if you want to bring it to anything outside of motherfucking words, we can do that too. I ain't saying I'm John Wick. I ain't saying I'm gonna win, but you gonna leave this motherfucker with some lumps on your motherfucking head, nigga. Fuck around and find out.
Malignant or toxic narcissists shine best in the areas of manipulation and exploitation. These types of narcissists are somewhat borderline sociopaths, best in the areas of manipulation and classic narcissist. Malignant or toxic narcissists shine best in the areas of manipulation and exploitation. These types of narcissists are somewhat borderline sociopaths or psychopaths because they have a brand of vileness that sets them apart from the other two categories of narcissists. They relish deceit and aggression and may find enjoyment in the suffering of others. Fortunately, just about 1% of people are affected by this kind of narcissism, with most of them being young people. The vulnerable narcissists are the third class here, and although people in this category are mostly introverted, they still go around with an air of superiority around them. Vulnerable narcissists often have fragile egos and deep-seated insecurity, and manipulation isn't very far from them. It's the case of gaining admiration and pity by being suspicious generously. The main thing that sets narcissists apart is their ability to feel. They may think too highly of themselves, but can experience guilt or shame when their inconsiderate behavior is brought to their attention. It might be a short moment of remorse, but they still feel it, right? And some of them even attempt techniques to help improve their relationships. Narcissists generally do not set out to harm others or be violent. They simply lack the empathy to focus or care about others compassionately. Hey, if you're enjoying this video so far, please hit that subscribe button for more content about self-development and improving your life. It really helps our new channel, and your kindness will go a long way. Unlike narcissists, sociopaths engage in manipulative behavior and deceive others for their pleasure. They have zero regard for rules and just break them without concern for others. So while a narcissist may act out of compassion, simply
Let me tell you something about these people. They all scary people to have in your life. They're all scary to be around. Of course, you know the psychopath is the scariest because they would take your life. But I'm glad you got narcissists and you got sociopaths in the middle and you got psychopaths the worst. Because let me tell you something. Sociopaths are monsters. Anyone with no to very low empathy, pretty much a motherfucker walking around without a conscience. A person without a conscience, like narcissists have low empathy and stuff. But a sociopath damn near has none, damn near don't have a conscience. A motherfucker like that is capable of damn near anything. All it takes is to have violent tendencies to turn a sociopath to a psychopath. That's how bad it is. But it's other shit they can do to you besides delete you that is very, very bad. And all those things that a sociopath could do to you besides take your life, they would do without a sheer thought for what the fuck you got going on.
and just break them without engage in manipulative behavior and deceive others for their pleasure. They have zero. Unlike narcissists, sociopaths engage in manipulative behavior and deceive others for their pleasure. They have zero regard for rules and just break them without concern for others. So while a narcissist may act out of compassion simply to feel good, it's a more calculated process with a sociopath. They find pleasure in being manipulative and often enjoy toying with others. Something else that makes the sociopath harder to read is that they can come off as quite charming. It's why it's easy to dismiss their behavior or not detect it for a long time. A common trait you might want to look out for in a sociopath is feigned emotions. A person that tends to act warm and friendly before perpetrating harm may be showing signs of sociopathy. Think of people you know who lie excessively simply to get what they want, constantly blame others for their actions, or try to manipulate by threatening suicide. Can sociopaths form connections? Yes, they can. However, these relationships are a lot more likely to end up a mess because of how much they disregard the needs and rights of the other person. And this right here is the major difference between a sociopath and a psychopath. You might miss it if you're not paying as much attention, but because psychopaths do not experience emotions like regular humans, they cannot build emotional connections with others. Whether it's love, intimacy, or attachment, psychopaths are entirely incapable of experiencing these emotions.
People like to watch horror movies, talk about monsters. A psychopath is the closest thing to a monster we gonna get in reality walking amongst us. The closest thing to a monster, the closest thing to a demon or whatever that we gonna get walking amongst us, yo. And don't get it twisted. A sociopath can be a monster in its own right. And a narcissist, they more of a nuisance than a monster. But don't get it wrong. They can still do that version of damage. The reason narcissists are more of a nuisance than straight up monsters is that their concern for how they look gives them a degree of restraint on what they would do, because they got that little fear in the back of their head. If they do too much and get caught up in it, people gonna know the true them, and they don't want the true them out there. They want the world to admire them, think highly of them. So they have a little more restraint. But the sociopath don't care what you think of them. And like I said, a motherfucker that don't care what you think of them, it ain't much they won't do.
Psychopaths exhibit violent behaviors more than two other groups, so you might expect them to automatically be serial killers, rapists, murderers, or mastermind criminals. But not all psychopaths are these things. However, these people are even more calculated than sociopaths and can easily commit these crimes. It doesn't even help that they lack empathy, control, or understanding of boundaries. Compared to sociopaths, psychopathy is often regarded as innate rather than learned. The easiest way to identify a psychopath is their lack of empathy or inability to feel guilty for wrongdoings. But you also want to look out for behaviors like excessive meanness. Yes, we all can be mean, but the degree of this trait in a psychopath is simply unfathomable because they often find causing pain entertaining. Keeping that in mind, you can easily tell that unlike narcissists, who can feel some degree of guilt for their misdoings, this feeling completely escapes a psychopath. A psychopath is not going to feel the tiniest remorse for hurting you, because they simply don't care. And since some narcissists lack empathy too, you might confuse them with sociopaths. But pay attention to this. Sociopaths are more interested in asserting control over others, while narcissists do all they do simply to be admired. Sociopaths approach harm with more intentionality, unlike narcissists who hurt people mostly because they are unaware of the needs and feelings of the other. I also talk about spotting psychopathy in children in my previous video, which you can check out in the description. So in there's all that talk about the antisocial and aggressive traits to look out for in teens and children. And it's a similar situation if you're dealing with narcissism or sociopathy in children. But the real challenge with narcissism in children,
it's, as a person with kids, as a person with 4 children, it is really hard to diagnose narcissism in children, because I think most children are little sociopaths. They just so unaware. They don't mean it, and they don't know any better. So it's really hard to diagnose, because you can come home, like I said, crawling in the house. Crawling in the house because some shit went down at work, got you so tired. You literally dragging yourself like in a fucking Vietnam movie where a nigga got shot in his legs and you dragging yourself towards the helicopter. And if you promise your daughter or your son when you got home from work, you're gonna take them to get some ice cream, you come crawling across the ground like you ain't got no legs, like Lieutenant Dan on Forrest Gump. She walk right over to you and be like, Dad, you still gonna take me to get some ice cream? As if you ain't crawling. Oh God. Yeah. And that's kids. That is kids. They will wake you up out your sleep for some simple shit that they want. Some simple shit. Some simple shit they want trumps your sleep when they know you got to get up and go to work or some shit. And that's why it's hard to throw narcissists and all that sociopath shit on kids, because in the beginning they like that. And it's because, when a baby said whine, 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 we give them what they want. Whine, 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 give them what they want. So it's up to us as parents, as they get older, to tell them no to things, to deny things, to get them to earn things, and things of that nature, so they don't feel that sense of entitlement and feel so special, and realize that people don't move when you say move, and that that's why they were saying like sociopath and narcissists are definitely very environmental, because it's certain ways to raise and condition a motherfucker to where those traits ain't as strong. Now again, with a psychopath, it's maybe it's just some wirings, it's crossed per se, and unfortunately it's not a whole lot can be done about that. But they are amongst us, people. They are amongst us, man. I'm pretty sure after hearing this information from me, hearing this information on the video, it probably a lot of people, situations, and relationships that popped up in your mind, yo. A whole bunch of people, relationships, situations, etc. that popped up in your mind. I also hope you took some of this information to self-reflect, right? And look at yourself. And maybe you got some of those traits and tendencies to some kind of degree that you should work on. I got a homeboy. Therapist told him he was a narcissist. And he got mad at the therapist and told him he was wrong and that the therapist didn't know what he was talking about. It was kind of proved the therapist's point. How I went to school for 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 years and I told you some shit and you know more than me about it and you're gonna tell me I don't know what I'm talking about. Only a fucking narcissist can do some shit like that. So in telling the therapist that shit, in my opinion, it kind of proved the therapist's point. But when I told him that, the nigga got mad as fuck because, you know, he does no wrong because, you know, that narcissists do no wrong. So again, like, yeah, okay, I think that that professional diagnosis might have been somewhat accurate. Sorry, I slept terribly. I have sleep apnea. I don't know why. I ain't overweight or nothing, but I just have narrow airways. So I used my machine last night. I got the kind where the CPAP mask cover just your nose. It takes, when I first put it on, it takes a little adjusting, but I can fall asleep. I do wake up a little more than I need to, but I just got to get used to it because I'm not going to lie. When I use it, I might not sleep that good, but I feel better when I wake up. As in, like, I'm less groggy, I don't have the headache, and I just feel a little better. But then I be at the same time feel a little tired from interrupt sleep, like taking the mask off and shit, and feeling the mask on me. But I can tell I'm definitely getting more oxygen. You know, one of the things people understand about sleep apnea, I know they hate that mask because I do too, but if you have it, your carbon monoxide levels can get high in your body. And when that happens, there's really not a lot of ways to lower that. There are some medications and stuff, but it's yeah. So if your, I think it's carbon monoxide levels get too high in your blood in your body, that's what leads to a lot of people being older having to be on oxygen. And I'm 47, so I'm definitely getting older. And I wasn't using my CPAP machine, but sometimes even if you don't like something, I hate wearing that mask, but you got to see the bigger picture. And a lot of people don't see the bigger picture in things. Speaking of bigger picture, like I said yesterday, Casanat got his 1 million subs, and tonight, LeBron James supposed to come. It's the last day of Mafia-thon, and LeBron James is going to cut Casanat's hair. Cause that was the whole thing. Like, if I get to 1 million subs, I'm gonna cut my hair. And y'all don't know, the boy got long ass dreads touching his back, and I'm guessing LeBron James supposed to cut his hair. This better not be no gimmick. This better not be no wig, no nothing. You said you're gonna cut your hair if you got that 1 million. I know he's gonna get a haircut. There's no way. From what I know of young Kai Cenat, how much he loves his fans, and also how much he needs his fans, because without them, he's nothing streaming wise. Even though he can never stream again and he's set for life, let's make that clear. It's crazy to be set for life at 21, 22. That's like amazing. Of course, you see that shit with some rappers and a lot of athletes, but it's still just awesome. Like it's just that hate of blood just ain't in me, yo. The hate of blood just ain't in me. I am happy for this young man and all these other young guys out here getting it as if they was my motherfucking nephews, yo. Straight up. I don't want to learn from 'em. I wish I could get some motion. You know what I'm saying? I'm out here struggle streaming. Shit. Take me to streaming university. Nigga, let me tell you something. If got an invite to Streaming University 2026, I would be there so fucking fast, yo. I might even try to submit to be there. You know, I might send in my submission. You know why? Because who knows? They might want to mix it up, try none too. You can get some good content out of middle-aged niggas streaming. As far as like being around there, who fucking knows? It's different, it's a novelty, it's a gimmick, whatever. I'll be that gimmick. I don't give a fuck. Be streaming wood, no hesitation, no shame, no nothing. Go to Streaming University because there's nothing to be ashamed about. I don't care that most of them streamers are 21 through 32. I don't give a fuck. You can learn something from anybody that's doing something better and on a higher level than you. Now, that's one narcissistic trait I know I don't have, because I ain't got no problem being humble and admitting that someone is better at me and shit, and that I can learn from someone. So hope y'all learned something today. I got I have to go pick up my daughter shortly, right? However, I still want to do this trolley problem thing. By the way, if you're not familiar with the trolley problem, again, the trolley problem is a series of thought experiments in ethics, psychological, and artificial intelligence involving stylized ethical dilemmas of whether to sacrifice one person to save a larger number. It's a game I think that shows different scenarios and stuff. Let's see if I can pull it up real quick. To put my screen on my other monitor, you see me looking over. See if we can get this working. I wasn't able to test it to see if I can even play it live streaming. Because I'm not on OBS or nothing. I'm on Restream, which is something like StreamYard. When I usually play my other games, I use StreamYard, right? I'm sorry, I use OBS. And so we're going to share the stream for this game and see how see if it's janky. You gotta see if it's janky. See if my internet, my restream can handle. Like, I figure it might work because the game in itself is basic. So it says your campaign will start after this screen. Let's go. Solo. It says, do you think you're mature enough to tackle these problems alone? You would have to take total responsibility. That's no problem, yo. I ain't got nobody here. I ain't got no extra controllers. I ain't scared. Solo. I'm just showing y'all what it looked like. I ain't gonna be able to play it because I gotta get my daughter. but maybe we can do a little bit of it.
The following game contains adult themes. It does not contain explicit language, sexual content, horror, or show violence. Choices matter, so please take your time. Player discretion is still advised.
So
Sign your name below, showing you understand and agree to endorse every decision you make.
So were y'all able to hear that voice? Let me know if y'all heard that voice on the game.
Actions speak louder than words. Welcome to Trolley Problem Inc., founded to help people travel safely across the nation. All our employees must show 3 core values: responsibility, integrity, and respect. With that in mind, let's start your training.
So can you hear the voice? MS Best, are you? Well, yeah, it's the game itself. It's gonna talk a little low, but luckily the words up there, if y'all can see them, it says Week 1 Monday. Welcome to Trolley Problem Incorporated, founded to help people travel safely across the nation. All our employees must show 3 core values: responsibility, integrity, and respect. With that in mind, let's start the training.
There's a runaway trolley barreling down the railway tracks. On the tracks are 5 people unable to move. You're next to a lever. If you pull this lever, the trolley will switch to a different set of tracks. However, you notice there is a person on the other track. What do you do?
Hold on, it's 5 people. It's a track. It's 5 people on it.
Oh. So you're just going to do nothing?
Put a lever.
I hope that person's family and friends will be here.
It's 5 people on this side. It's 1 here. The 1 got to go, right?
Usually we don't expect candidates to kill someone on their first day, but we'll give you the benefit of the doubt on this one. Just think a little more before acting next time.
It said usually we don't expect candidates to kill someone on the first day, but we'll give you the benefit. So it was telling me that a trolley was going down the road. It was a lever. It was one way had 5 people that couldn't move, and the other thing had 1 person on one side that was on the track. You pull the lever, it goes get the other person. It says, I agree with 71.86% people worldwide chose to delete the 1 person over the 5. Now, if I knew more detail about those 5s, I probably would have picked the 5. Now, they might ask me some real questions. If that 1 person was a baby and the other 5 people were adults, what would I do? I think those kind of questions going to come up next. I don't know if this game got a volume setting. Who knows? Matter of fact, let's see something. Like I can't really let me see if I'm because I got to get out of here anyway. But I am going to before I leave, come back in here, and I want to check the volume and see if this game has some kind of volume settings. Because yeah, that is at a whisper. It's definitely at a whisper. And you're right, playing vertical, the words might not show. Doing it vertical, so I'm probably going to have to come back and play this game on a normal size screen. Right now, I'm just at the I'm trying to see if at the beginning could I affect
9, 10.
See if I can affect the volume. So let's see if it's a little louder this time. Before I get up out of here, we're gonna check it out. Let's see if I solve the problem.
The following game contains adult themes. It does not contain explicit language, sexual content, horror, or show violence. Choices matter, so please take your time. Player that's rude. Actions speak louder than words. Integrity, and respect. With that in mind, let's start your training.
Is the voice louder now?
There's a runaway trolley barreling down the railway tracks. On the tracks are 5 people unable to move.
Turn your phones up.
You're next to a lever. If you pull this lever, the trolley will switch to a different set of tracks. However, you notice there is a person on the other track. What do you do? Oh, so you're just going to do nothing? Well, I guess you're right. The more people who die, the better.
If it's a little low, turn your volume up if you can.
Usually we don't expect candidates to kill someone on their first day, but we'll give you the benefit of the doubt on this one. Just think a little more before acting next.
I already killed one person on my first day at the job, yo. I'm nuts.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. This test will focus on the first principle, responsibility. Here's Polly. She's 5 years old. While she loves to play in the sand with her dolls, she dreams of looking after the world. Polly's destiny is to grow up to be a great doctor. More of us should take a leaf out of her book. A trolley is heading towards another 5 people. You're next to a lever. If you pull this lever, the trolley will derail and descend down a hill heading for the park's sandpit. You notice that Polly is in the sandpit, sculpting her dream hospital. What do you do? Are you not saving them just because they aren't as cute as Polly? If any of the 5 are children, maybe all of them.
Polly gotta go. It's hard for me to justify one life for the sake of 5.
Odd take on being responsible. The dictionary definition: to be the primary cause of something and so able to be blamed or credited for it. Who's to blame for the death of a young girl?
Even if it's a kid, those 5 people are someone's child too. You know what I'm saying? Now a 1 for 1, I'll pick the kid over the adult. Maybe even a 2 for 1. But 5 to 1, the only kid I pick 5 to 1, this is gonna be selfish, but that's my kid.
The end justifies the means. The key to this test is integrity. This is Tyrone.
Damn, Tyrone fat as fuck.
30-year-old secretariat of law firm who enjoys binge-watching crime shows. Tyrone is a very large man. You don't really know anything else about him, apart from the fact that he has a severe phobia of trains. Now we are picking Anti. You are on a bridge with Tyrone, watching a trolley speeding towards 5 people again. You can only stop it by deliberately pushing Tyrone off the bridge, blocking its path. Do you push Tyrone off the bridge, or let the train hit 5 people? 821 million people are starving in the world. Well, Tyrone will thank you. He's planning to binge watch a lot this week. The cleaning company with the best reviews are Happy Cleaning Limited. Who knew one body could make so much mess? You're going to have to tip them well.
I'm sorry, Tyrone. You's a big fat sloppy fuck that wasn't doing much with your life anyway. And again, it's a 5-to-1 thing. A 5-to-1 thing. I'm trying to get where it say 51% people pick worldwide agree with me. So that means a lot of people didn't push Tyrone off the bridge to say the 5 people. If this is what this gonna be, my whole thing is 5 lives over 1 ain't really that hard of a choice for your boy. Unless they give me more details on the lives of the people.
Now for the final core value, respect. It seems we've run out of resources to continue your testing. I'm going to need you to go and grab some mannequins. You will need to take the next trolley, so don't get distracted by that dog. The trolley leaves in 1 minute. There is a dying dog down on the tracks. No trolleys will use that line today, so the dog will not be hit. You're in a rush. Do you kill the dog, putting it out of its misery, or leave it to die, cold and alone?
Leave it to die.
Let nature take its course. Don't listen to the yelps.
Yeah, I ain't got the stomach to. What I'm supposed to do, like go break his neck or slit his throat? Like, what in the serial killer going on here? It's unfortunate.
When you respect something, you're meant to care about its feelings and wishes. Instead, you just left it there to die.
I don't know. I think I wouldn't trust a person that could walk up on some random dog and put it out his misery. That's just me.
If you play with fire, you'll get burned. Oh, great. I've just heard those kids are back. They keep sneaking down onto the tracks. With all the training from this week, you should be able to decide a straightforward outcome for these reprobates. Just remember, respect, responsibility, and integrity.
Yo, am I morally compromised? What's going on here? What is this? Let's see. Get one more before I get out of here.
Have snuck down onto the trolley line, even though signs warn them of the dangers. The trolley is currently heading for a co-worker. Do you let your co-worker die, or sacrifice the delinquents?
Damn. This hard, yo.
If the trespassers weren't there, you would change the path, right? I guess you value criminals over co-workers then.
Fuck them trespassers, yo. Well, this is the thing. Do I like the co-worker? If I like the co-worker, try.
5 kids. All right then. Guess your results for the first week are in. I'll run these up the flagpole and see what the suits upstairs think.
Man, I killed 5 children. I killed 6 children altogether, and two adults on my first day of work. How do you measure the value of a life? I guess that's the point, right?
Dear Sir or Madam, we have been following your exemplar practice this week at Trolley Problem Inc. and would like to thank you for your hard work, especially when some challenging decisions had to be made. We would like to invite you to take employment at the Trolley Health Corporation, THC. This is a prestigious position and was created to help keep the public safe through all walks of life.
Oh shit. Your boy got a promotion. Job offer. Okay. I think that was just a tutorial, but I think it might get more interesting, more complicated. You know, this reminds me of that movie, The Good Son. Let me wrap this shit up real quick. With Macaulay Culkin, and I can't remember the other guy. He's a big actor now too. Pretty much, Macaulay Culkin character was a fucking psychopath. At some point, he killed his baby brother, but fake like he drowned. He used to fuck with, kill, and torture animals. He tried to kill his mom and his dad. He was just a fucking psychopath, but he was a kid. And I think the woman's, if you haven't seen this movie, I ain't spoiling it because it was made when Macaulay Culkin was a kid and a nigga like 40 something now or whatever. So that's on you. But it's still worth checking out if you want to. But pretty much the woman's sister died, so her nephew had to come stay with her, and she already had her son, who was Macaulay Culkin. She had another son that died when he was a baby, drowned in the tub. And the kid get there, and it started off cool, but then Macaulay Culkin started doing all kinds of weird shit, acting weird. Shit started happening. Blah blah blah. The movie, whatever. At some point, the woman realized that Macaulay Culkin didn't. The son didn't drown in the tub. Macaulay Culkin drowned him. And at the end of the movie, the climax, after she found out this dude was a killer and did all this fucked up shit and tried to kill her, tried to kill her husband, boyfriend, whatever, he did a bunch of fucked up shit, and she knew it at this point. And he even tried to kill her nephew, the other little kid that came to stay with her. And at some point, something happened, and they both was about to fall off a cliff because Macaulay Culkin was trying to kill the little kid, and she had both of them in her hand, and she had one in each arm. But she couldn't pull both up at the same time. She would have to use both her arms to pull up one kid. So the Macaulay Culkin like, Mom, please don't let me go. This was her baby. But he's a fucking murdering psychopath. And the other kid was her nephew. But this was her son. And then he did the psychopath. Mom, please, I'm your son. You know, that shit. And but she knew he killed her other son. She knew he did a bunch of other crazy shit. Knew he was torturing animals. Knew he down there tried to kill her. He tried to kill her husband, boyfriend, whatever the fuck going on. But she had both of them like this, one in each hand, hanging off the edge of the cliff. And she let her son go. Because he was just that, it was her son. But she had to let his ass go because he was a fucked up, sick individual. And I think this the kind of trolley problems thing that, you know, this is the kind of situation, a scenario that, you know, this thing is trying to simulate. So we're definitely going to get back into it. But I will leave y'all with a little something. Because I really want to come back and get to the try a little bit of these trolley problems, yo. But I do have to go pick up my daughter. Just like yesterday, I'm gonna leave y'all with a goodie but oldie, maybe. I just don't know which one. And it's not gonna play through its entirety, obviously. We're gonna do this one. Fuck it. We're gonna do the blind leading the blind. The age of failed. Their family, their friends. Agree with something I have to say, please leave a comment. Ain't that what they say? I ain't just finna follow anybody. Because we're talking about the 3 blind mice. Comment and share. Is the sound good on this one? Let me make sure. I think this is where Paul. Yeah. I don't know if I want to do that one either. We're just gonna go with the original one I was gonna pick. But I will be back in not too long. I just have to pick up my daughter because and we're going with this one. I had fun doing this one. It is greatly appreciated. So shout out to the replay gang. I guess I can't do that one. I don't want to review a vertical on a vertical, even though I technically can. But we ain't finna that. We're going to, you know what? We're gonna go with fuck it. I gotta go, so I'm just gonna rock with this one. Why the fuck not? Still DC, but no, She-Hulk ain't DC. And what does this woke mean? I'm gonna have to do a bothered by everything that's woman. What men do and what men don't do. Men get to do this, so I want to do this. Men get to do this. The lonely man epidemic. There we go. Right on Tizine. The goofy ass lonely male epidemic made up synopsis. We're gonna dive into that as I go get my daughter. We'll be back. Stay or don't stay. Appreciate it if you stay. Pull up. I will be back. Is there a lonely man epidemic? Or are men just finding better things to do with their time and their money? Is it a lonely man epidemic? Are men just out there just lonely? Or they just enjoying other things? See, that shows the sheer arrogance and ego of women. They think just because they're not getting approached that much, that it's a lonely male epidemic. But I came here today because I compiled evidence that clearly Now my YouTube want to act up. Clearly shows otherwise.
I'm sorry, but the person you called has a voicemail box that has not been set up yet. Goodbye.
Now my YouTube acting up. I laugh at you. It's like when a kid come punch you in the stomach. You're not gonna just wild out on the kid. You're like, that little shit didn't hurt. Get out of here, little boy. You know? Yeah. That you can. I don't recommend. I'm not suggesting physical violence, but somebody that I know I can whoop their ass don't bother me that much. Up to the first third, sheer ignorance and projection of it to be hilarious. So we got, not saying do it, not saying it's right. I don't really sweat what these motherfuckers got to say. Lonely man epidemic. The lonely man epidemic. Is there a lonely man epidemic? Or are men just finding better things to do with their time and their money? Is it a lonely man epidemic? Are men just out there just lonely? Or are they just enjoying other things? See, that shows the sheer arrogance and ego of women. They think just because they're not getting approached that much, that it's a lonely male epidemic. But I came here today because I compiled evidence that clearly shows otherwise. The creation of the lonely male epidemic is another pathetic attempt for women to gather some kind of win where there is none and where there's not even a contest to win at. If y'all haven't noticed, everything is tick for tack or a we can do it. Their whole existence, like the penis envy is so strong, they built their whole existence around being better, doing better, tit for tacking with men. And it's weird as shit. When your whole identity is based around what men do and what men don't do. Men get to do this, so I want to do this. Men get to do this. They want to do everything that we can do except for get drafted, and shit like that. Lonely male epidemic in their definition just means men want women, can't get women, and we just sitting around lonely. And they try to justify it by, they try to make it make sense by something like this. Let's see if it's just the right video. I don't know. No, that's not the right one. Good. Let's see if I even have that one. If not, I'll explain to you all what they try to justify it with. They try to justify the lonely male epidemic with the statement that's used out of context, and it's purposely used out of context. This is a statement that they use out of context. Whatever high percent of self deletions are men. They'll say, let's say our number. 70% of self deletions are men, which proves men are extremely depressed and blah, blah, blah. But actually, it doesn't prove that. And anybody with half a brain understands. let's say 70% of self-deletions with men. See, if you had an agenda of push and you had to push your misandry, you'll take that stat and run with it and throw it out there. And that's what they did. It was almost if it gave them pleasure. And I don't know, some women, when women was talking about this, they was giddy about it. And you're gonna see what I'm talking about, because I got some clips of women being giddy about the alleged lonely male epidemic. So it ain't that, let's say 70% of men, 70% of suicides are men. Doesn't mean that men are more depressed than women. Because if you do further research, you'll see that even if 70% of self-deletions are men, women have more self-deletion attempts. It ain't the completion that make more men complete it, but more women attempt it. So actually more women are depressed. Men just are better at seeing things through. It takes balls to take yourself out. And guess who got balls? I'm just saying. Now that's not a flex or nothing to brag about, but that's really what it boiled down to. Women want to delete themselves. Men want to delete themselves. The men they shouldn't do it. And I wish they would find help, but they do it. Women attempt it. So if women attempt it more, then it's clear that they are more depressed. But again, that's when people take stats and create narratives. 70% of suicides are men. And in their mind, the majority of men are deleting themselves. No. What about the attempts? So attempts don't matter. Attempts don't mean you at the same high level of depression as the person that did it to the completion. Just because you tried to delete yourself and live don't mean you didn't try to delete yourself. My bad. Dog was over there whining. So, but the simple fact that these same people that want to be protected and all this get excited when false information like this come out, I find hilarious, because why the fuck would a man want to protect a person that gets giddy about the idea or concept of the other gender going through something so intense to where they want to delete themselves? Or it's just clear hate. They show clear hate and disdain for men, which is weird, because they act like they want them. And they get mad and try to shame men into not fucking with them anymore. Yet why would men, when this kind of sentiment is constantly put out? I'm gonna show y'all an example of what I'm talking about. And if y'all, and let me know if y'all see that these women are quite pleased with this information, quite pleased with just the idea, the premise that men might be going through something, even though I'm gonna come back and show you that there is no lonely male epidemic. It's actually the opposite. But we finna run this video and we're gonna go from there. We're gonna pull up this guy right here. Which one we gonna go with? I saved several videos. Oh, yeah, we do this guy.
The reason you keep hearing about the male loneliness epidemic is because there's a small group of women who are making videos saying that men are lonely because men are horrible. When the reality is, these women are projecting their anger, their pain, their bitterness. The reason you keep hearing about the male loneliness epidemic is because there's a small group of women who are making videos saying that men are lonely because men are horrible. When the reality is, these women are projecting their anger, their pain, their bitterness, and their loneliness onto men instead of doing the work they need to do on themselves. Instead of actually taking a look in the mirror and understanding the things they need to change to be in a healthy relationship. These women are trying to push a narrative to blame shift everything onto men when the reason that they're single and lonely is because of themselves. The male loneliness epidemic is a narrative. The reason you keep hearing about the male loneliness epidemic is because there's a small group of women who are making videos saying that men are lonely because men are horrible. When the reality is, these women are projecting their anger, their pain, their bitterness, and their loneliness onto men instead of doing the work they need to do on themselves. Instead of actually taking a look in the mirror and understanding the things they need to change to be in a healthy relationship. These women are trying to push a narrative to blame shift everything onto men when the reason that they're single and lonely is because of themselves. The male loneliness epidemic is a narrative because men aren't lonely. Are there some lonely men? Absolutely. But most men that are single are choosing to be single because they've been in a lot of abusive, toxic relationships. And these men don't want to go back to those types of relationships. So they're choosing to be single, to find peace, to heal, to actually follow their purpose, to do things that fulfill them. Because these men are starting to understand that a toxic relationship with a woman who just wants to be with them because of the amount of money they make is not fulfilling. So this narrative is not being pushed by men, it's being pushed by women who hate men.
And that is nothing but sheer, unmitigated facts. It's not, men don't even talk about their feelings enough for it be a male loneliness, a lonely male epidemic, right? And not just that. Women think because they not getting relationships and men not getting with them, that they think they so special and important that if these men not in relationships, they have to be lonely and suffering. But what they understand, we ain't like them. We don't hate other men like women don't like other women. Cause see, you don't need a woman to have companionship. And that's why women try to shame and attack that and make it homoerotic. Oh, you like hanging with your own boys. No, companionship is companionship. See, since women don't have nothing to offer often in relationships outside of vagina, they don't get the idea of friendships without intercourse. That's why if they not bisexual, their friendships with their homegirls usually be fake and phony and frenemies because they can't have substantial relationships. Often, sometimes not even with their family because they be falling out with their family all the time. They can't keep a person consistently in their life or around them or wanting to deal with them without putting the pussy on the table. So that's why they so shocked and appalled and baffled and hate the fact that men can be perfectly fine hanging with their homeboys, playing Madden, playing basketball, going to work, coming out, going to the gym with their homeboy, and actually have a good social relationship with people, and they try to turn it homoerotic because they can't see a world where someone wouldn't mind spending time with someone and not wanting to fuck them or having any sexual attraction, because no one has never spent time with them without wanting to fuck them or having some kind of sexual attraction. Oh, y'all like y'all like hanging with y'all homeboys more than women. Maybe my homeboy is better company than you. Now when it's time to fuck, I'm gonna come through and see you. But when I want to have pleasant, entertaining, engaging conversation, I'm going to kick it with my boys. Women, y'all sign language, y'all attacks and insults to get men to do shit. This not middle school, baby. That shit's not working. Oh, that's your little boyfriend. Okay, yeah, whatever. I ain't hanging with you, especially since you said that goofy shit. If y'all want men to hang with y'all instead of their homeboys, how about y'all, instead of using little middle school sign language and sexuality attacks, how about you work on your personality, your character? How about you be fun to be around? You ever thought about that? So, but for see, it's easier and more comfortable and safe for their insecurities to try to make it like something's a fault with the man than being like, maybe I'm just not fun to be around. Women know they're not fun to be around because most women be like, I prefer to hang with my brother and my male cousins and my male friends. Most of my friends are males because they fun to be around and they don't take themselves too serious and they not all catty and blah, blah, blah. Women don't like hanging around women and then want to act shocked and appalled that we don't want to hang around women outside of the time we need to hang around them in order to get the cheeks.
Oh my God!
How can y'all not like hanging around women but want us to love it? It ain't many heterosexual men that like hanging around women all day like that. They'll do it if they love them. They'll do it enough to show them that the relationship is secure. They'll do it enough to secure the cheeks. After that, he out. For the vast majority of men. And not saying that's a small amount of time, but he's gonna do it enough so she's securing the relationship. He's gonna do it enough to secure the cheeks and nothing more, nothing extra. Because in most cases, it's not just hanging with her and having asinine conversations about the shit that interests him. It's not his peak activity with what he want to do with his time. It's just not for most men, especially heterosexual men. We just don't, in most cases, we don't like the same movies. We don't like the same shows. We don't like have the same interests. You know how it fucking go. So, it's a male loneliness epidemic, right? Let's see what this lady got to say about it.
What are men doing wrong?
Oh, a lot. Whether it's the chicken or the egg, the men are not asking women out. Now, the bottom line is we're having a problem post-pandemic where men are not asking women out. I don't know if it's a white man disease right now.
I think it's soy milk.
They're afraid they're going to get like canceled.
My experience pre-Lauren, when I was running around my single days, like we didn't have the apps, and if you saw a woman, you had to go out.
We ain't ready for that video yet. We ain't ready for that video. That's when I'm showing the proof that it's not a lonely male epidemic. So we got to get to some more people talking about how it is one before I show you all how it's simply not. It's actually the other way around. Because who is begging who? Now I'm gonna just loosely get into it. It's allegedly a lonely male epidemic. But who's the one always online talking about they're not getting approached? Why don't men worship women no more? Why don't men approach me anymore? Why don't men want to date? Why don't men want to get married? Why don't men come to mixers? Why don't men come to single events? Why? Sounds like somebody pretty lonely and they want men to engage with them. You don't see hundreds of videos all over social media with men saying these things. The juice ain't worth the squeeze to a lot of men. See, women are so into themselves, they don't understand the nature of dating. Men are over begging, pleading, working their way into being allowed to spend money on you. Men, like, shouldn't think about it. Having to convince or damn near beg someone to spend your money on them. Make that shit make sense. A man should be able to like, yo, you want to go out sometime? It should be like, yes or no. End of it. Not having to fucking work and talk and convince just to even get there. I could take my money and do something else with it. It's like women don't understand the extreme privilege that it is for someone to spend their money for your entertainment. Especially in this fucking economy. And a lot of men, like, damn, just pretty much like the juice ain't worth the squeeze. They already be bullshitting, playing around with the cheeks, dating serial daters, letting you take them out while they smashing another dude, ghosting guys after the date, having fucking foodie calls. So it's already bad energy out there in the arena. Then with all that bad energy, you also want him to beg for a high potential chance of bad energy. Beg to spend money. Are y'all walking around begging the homeless people to give them 20? Listen, sir, just take the $20. Just take the $100. Anybody want my money? Somebody take it. Here. No, I need you to take this $100 from me. Who the fuck's begging to give away money? Nobody. And that's what dating is. Dating is spending your money on someone else for their entertainment. Yeah, you might be entertained too, but you also spend it for their entertainment. And that's a privilege and a pleasure for them. But they want to act like it's an honor that they allow you to spend. You should be fucking grateful that they allowed you the great honor of being able to spend your money on them.
Oh my God.
And dudes ain't having that. And that's why they not getting approached and having all these problems. And since they not getting approached, the only way to cope with that, the only way to sleep at night, because it's a lot of ego, and tick for tat. The only way to cope with that is to create some narrative that men are overwhelmingly just lonely. When the reality is, men are overwhelmingly just content. It don't take us much. Netflix, Hulu, Crunchyroll for some anime, our Xbox or our PlayStation, between work in the gym and goddamn porn, a lot of men gonna make it. And on top of that, he can get the occasional shot of cheeks from somebody's daughter occasionally when he wanna go there. Might not be the exact cheeks he want, but that don't mean it's gonna be bad cheeks, and it's still gonna be cheeks. We don't need or have to have the committed relationship situation as intensely as our female counterparts do. I'm finna run this video from this guy. This is an example of when a man believes the propaganda and bullshit, and this guy clearly has a vagina. But I'm gonna let y'all hear him out.
Dude, men are fucking lonely, bro. Dude, men are fucking lonely, bro. People don't seem to understand that. 77% of suicides, men. Every 5 minutes, a man commits suicide. Dude, like, who's gonna fucking step up and be like, yo, I got you guys? There's a couple guys, but obviously they're getting censored. Community is extremely important. Dude, men are fucking lonely, bro. People don't seem to understand that. 77% of suicides.
First of all, those numbers ain't accurate. Again, let's say 70%. That stat means nothing, like I said earlier, because let's say 70% or 77% of suicides are men. It's also proven that more women attempt it. So if more women attempt it, is there really a male loneliness epidemic or just a loneliness epidemic? Or are women going through more shit than men? Again, being better at something, which is sometimes, this ain't no flex to be better at this, but seeing your attempt through doesn't equate to more men doing it, more men attempting it, unless we're gonna play the game as if the attempt of deletion is irrelevant as far as for your mental state, and the only thing that matters is the completion as far as your mental state. I know what matters as far as you being alive is the completion. But right now we're talking about depression and mental state. So if more women attempt it, then logically more women have that mental state. It's just that more men succeed at it. But again, that would take critical thinking and not trying to push agenda. So don't believe the hype on that. So we're gonna let this guy cook right here, this OG, and he gonna break it down for you. And this is, I think, where you would see the giddiness I was talking about.
The male loneliness epidemic. Something it seems like every other woman on social media is talking about. Something they're jumping for joy over.
Did you
talking about something that the male loneliness epidemic. Something it seems like every other woman on social media is talking about. Something they're jumping for joy over.
Did you all know that there's a male loneliness epidemic in the United States right now?
All see the smile on her face as she was saying that. And this is the person that want men to want them. Now, we're going to watch this and watch the women face as they talking about this. That's key to it. And then after that, we're going to segue to why it isn't a male loneliness epidemic. And I'm going to show you exactly what is going on. And you're going to see why what's going on is going on. And it's going to correlate to how women are reacting to this allegation of a lonely male epidemic. It correlates directly into what's really going on and why it's going on. So, but pay attention to the facial expressions. Matter of fact, I'm gonna big screen them up a little bit. Pay attention to these ladies' facial expressions as they talk about it.
The male loneliness epidemic. Something it seems like every other woman on social media is talking about. Something they're jumping for joy over.
Did you all know that there's a male loneliness epidemic in the United States right now?
The male loneliness epidemic, blah, 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 blah.
We don't have a male loneliness epidemic. We have a male effort epidemic.
I don't know if you guys know this. There's like a male loneliness epidemic.
As I said, women are relishing the thought that men are alone. They're desperate. Oh no, there's a male loneliness epidemic. Boo-hoo. Add to it, the media is in full support, spreading the claim with articles like, there's too many single men. They're sad. They're lonely. They can't get a date. Men are desperate for love and companionship. Clearly, this is a national crisis. But let's be real for a second, shall we? That's not the real male loneliness epidemic. You want to know what the real epidemic is? It's the married guys. Yeah, the ones who did everything right. They got the girl, bought the ring, signed the contract. The ones who moved in and settled down. And now? Well, now they're prisoners, spending day after day trapped in a toxic relationship with no real hope of ever getting out, no hope of escaping. They spend their time walking on eggshells around the woman who once claimed to love them, but now, well, now she just tolerates him. Maybe. No love, no intimacy, no sex, not even any kindness, no caring, no affection, not a scrap of emotional connection whatsoever. Their life is nothing more than endless nagging, silent treatment and a never-ending, increasing list of things that they do wrong. And they don't talk about it because they can't. The minute they do say anything, they know she's going to go on the attack. They know she's going to go into full denial. They know she's going to run and tell the world how ungrateful, how toxic, how emotionally unavailable he is, when in reality, it's actually her that's all of those things. He knows she's going to run around claiming she's the victim because she's the perfect wife. And everyone is going to believe her, even though it's a complete lie. These men aren't just lonely, they're invisible, trapped in partnerships we're talking about.
He kind of segue into a separate topic.
The male loneliness epidemic.
That wasn't about the male loneliness epidemic. But as you saw, Again, like I said, they find it to be quite hilarious, quite entertaining, quite funny. It makes them giggle, makes them warm inside just to think. They need men to be extremely suffering to make it make sense why they can't get what they want. They hope, they wish. It's like one of those times when even though you know something ain't true, when you hear it, you want it to be true so bad, you just gonna believe it. And that's what this case. They got pushed off the propaganda of it's a male loneliness, a lonely male epidemic, and they just ran with it full steam because they needed that to be. Just like when people said dumb stuff like 90% of men are gay. That's fundamentally and mathematically impossible. But it's some people that really believe that 80% of men are gay or some weird shit, or black men are gay or some weird shit like that, because they need that to be so they can make it make sense why they can't get a man. Oh, the reason I can't get a man isn't because I'm overweight, I got a bad personality, I don't know how to submit, I don't know how to cooperate, I got a stank attitude overall, or I might just be ugly. It's not those reasons why I don't have a man. The reason why is because 80% of them are gay. And with the male loneliness epidemic, oh, I'm lonely, I ain't got no man, but it gives me the warm and fuzzy to know that it's way more men out there lonely and suffering. And that's why they clung on to it. Because it boils down to the simple old phrase, bro.
Tactical nuke incoming!
The basic old phrase. Misery loves company. Misery loves company. Even if they had to create, exaggerate, and fabricate said company, they would do whatever they need to do to not reside in that misery alone. They need someone else to suffer with them or next to them to take the misery off, some of the misery off of them. So even if it's false, they need it. Even if it makes no logical sense, they need it. So here we get to the good part. What I consider the good part, where I completely destroy the whole premise of a male loneliness epidemic. But I'm gonna let a couple of fellas, well, I'm gonna set up the premise before the guys do it for me, because like I say, I took my time and put some videos together and found some stuff for this, because I didn't want it to just be my words. By the way, like, subscribe, comment, and please share. Like, subscribe, comment, and please share. It doesn't cost you a penny, a nickel, or a dime. It will be greatly appreciated and help the channel the most. All right. The lonely male epidemic. It's the exact opposite. Like I said earlier, people are hosting singles events all over the country. Men not showing up. If they were lonely, don't you think they would go? Think about it. If you were hungry or poor and they was hosting events, giving away free food and or money, wouldn't you go? Say again, if you were lonely, if you were hungry or had no money, and there were events where if you go there, you get the chance to get food and or money, you would probably go. So if it was a lonely male epidemic in events, meetups, mixers, and single events was being hosted, if men were so lonely, wouldn't they go? Now women try to throw it in there. Well, they don't show up to the events, so they so scared again, rejected. It got some men that do fear rejection. But if there was a loneliness epidemic, you telling me no man go? None? Not a single one? In an epidemic of loneliness? That's like saying men out there starving with sandwiches, hungry, but they got pride, so they won't go get the food from the food pantry because of their pride. No, if it was a male loneliness epidemic, meetups and mixers would have some fucking men there. Cause like I said, we talking loneliness epidemic, and some come up on the news and on the radio. You know, we having this thing where you can come meet lovely single women all over the area. Men ain't gonna go. It's because it's not a male loneliness epidemic. These dudes have checked out on purpose. It's not a loneliness epidemic when you took your ball and went home. When you simply realize the juice isn't worth the squeeze. When you realize that there's better things you could do with your time, energy, or money. When you realize you're not finna spend your money on somebody's daughter just for them to be ungrateful and tell you they didn't ask for it, just for them to ghost you. You're not finna beg, plead for the privilege of spending your money on someone else. Oh yeah, I saw that, and I saw that, and I was gonna pull that up later. I saw that, yes, in Shanghai, and I'm gonna pull up the video. I think it's okay, the drink your coffee dude, Cherez, I can't say his name, but I'll find his channel. In Shanghai, MS Best says in Shanghai they have dating events on a scale of 1,000 women and 0 guys. 1,000 women came and no guys. Is it male loneliness, or they don't fuck with y'all like that no more? I hate to say it, ladies, and I know y'all can't imagine this world, and a lot of pussy hound, horny ass, pussy over everything dudes don't get it too. But we live in a world now where some guys are realizing that it's just a wet hole on a human body. It's an orifice. It's just a vagina. Yes, you can get an orgasm from it, but you also can get one from your hand. And a bus is a bus. One bus might cause you headache, dumb conversation, and money being spent. The other bus just costs you nothing, because corn free on the internet. Just a little elbow grease and some cocoa butter or lotion or baby oil, whatever you prefer, petroleum jelly, I don't fucking know. That's all it costs you. You can do that, clean yourself off, and get back to watching your favorite fucking anime, watching Squid Game season 3 or whatever you fuck with. And you ain't gotta worry about dealing with nobody's bullshit. But you know, women don't want that because it takes them from getting relationships they be craving. And dudes you got those, oh fuck that, that's lame, you know, blah blah blah. You got to get some ass, those guys that usually like women, ass. You got to pause and look at their lives. A lot of those guys be broke, don't have nothing, and be having all kinds of baby mamas and be struggling. Because they put the pussy first. And they can't understand the mindset of a man that doesn't put the woman first. And of course, women try to shame men that don't put the woman first. And putting the woman first men try to win favor from those same women by attacking and shaming men that don't put the woman first. But it's not a lonely male epidemic. It's just men are, like I said, are realizing there's better things I can do with my time, energy, and money than spending it on than begging someone to allow me to take them out. You can take a chick on $150 date and might get some cheeks, or you can take that $150 and put it on you a ticket to fly to LA for a weekend and hang out. You could take a chick on a $150 date and have asinine conversation and she go home, or you could take that $150, buy yourself a video game, order you some Wingstop, get you a 6-pack of beer, play your game for some hours, watch some free corn, rub you one off, take a nap, wake up and play your game again, and be kicked back chilling. Hours of entertainment over an hour and a half of sitting there at a restaurant stuffing somebody's daughter's face. A lot of guys not seeing the win in that, especially in this day or age of I'm going to milk as many dates out of you as possible.
Oh my God!
Unless you that guy. Check out my book, Truth and Reality Undefeated the Gender War. There's a chapter in there. My book is available on Amazon. It's in Kindle, paperback, and audiobook format. It's in Kindle, paperback, and audiobook format. And there's a chapter in this book. Chapter 12. Can't see it. Chapter 12 is called The Ugly Tax. It's called The Ugly Tax. Chapter 12. Get this book. It's very inexpensive. It's available on Amazon in paperback, Kindle. You want to read it on your phone or a tablet, or audiobook. If you want to listen to it in your commute, it's a short read, a short listen, and very, very inexpensive. You got Amazon Prime. You can get it for free or down to discount or real big discounts. And it's definitely a chapter called The Ugly Tax. And the chapter, I need to listen to the chapter because it's more detailed, but to sum it up, I think it's pretty much the less desirable a chick find you, the more dates you got to take her on. If she really attracted to you, you don't got to take her on no dates. You can just come over and hit. The less attracted she is, it could be 2 dates, 3 dates, 8 dates. You could take on infinite dates and never get none out of her. But the amount of dates you're taking her on is you paying your ugly tax. As in, she ain't not saying you ugly to her, but you ain't particularly her cup of tea. So you got to take her on enough dates to make it make sense. And that's what you end up doing. And a lot of guys know that. And it came down to simple, the juice ain't worth the squeeze. But again, they say it's the male loneliness epidemic, right? Or a lonely male epidemic. But let's see what the people's got to say about it.
Y'all got 17 more days with me, so I'm gonna say what I want to say. There's not a male loneliness epidemic. Men are actually only dating women that they want to date. Men are only communicating with women that they actually want to get to know. As we know, men have been lusting over women for years. To be honest, that's why a lot of relationships worked back then and or even started. Y'all got 17 more days with me, so I'm gonna say what I want to say. There's not a male loneliness epidemic. Men are actually only dating women that they want to date. Men are only communicating with women that they actually want to get to know. As we know, men have been lusting over women for years. To be honest, that's why a lot of relationships worked back then and or even started, is because that man was lusting over your mama and over your grandmama. Let's be honest. We only got 17 more days. But guess what we have now? Instagram. So this man don't need to lust over you and take you on dates and act like he wants to get to know you. All this thirsty man gotta do is go to your IG and he gonna see any attachment you would have tried to send him as he was talking to you. You ain't gotta worry about getting them late night messages of let me see you what you wearing. I hope they stop texting you talk about I can't join the shower with you, because you ain't got everything already posted on your IG, every position, every angle, every bathing suit, and every lingerie item there is to know. So no, they're not lonely. They're actually only talking to women that they actually want to get to know for who they are.
That's the key ingredient. The first part of what he said, that's not a male. Women think because they not getting approached. This comes to the arrogance and the ego, right? You have women out there that think they're so gorgeous. So if they not getting approached regularly, it has to be because men are scared to approach women, or it's just a bunch of men out there lonely with no women. Because how am I not getting approached? How do I not have a man if men not lonely and want women? How can men want women and I not have a man? But what he said is the key ingredient. Men are it's not a lonely male epidemic. Men are approaching the women they want to approach every day. If men not approaching you, it's because men don't want to approach you. Not some mysterious, mythical, lonely male epidemic, not some massive conspiracy or anything of that sort. Men just don't want to approach you as the individual you are as of now. So fix it. Matter of fact, I'm gonna let the first 20 seconds of what this brother said ran back because it was so on point.
Y'all got 17 more days with me, so I'm gonna say what I want to say. There's not a male loneliness epidemic. Men are actually only dating women that they want to date. Men are only communicating with women that they actually want to get to know. As we know, men have been lusting.
They only communicate with women that they want to date. It goes back to the whole they only communicate with women they want to date. It goes back to the whole, these men don't want to provide for a woman. They don't want to protect and provide for women no more. No, men want to protect and provide for the women they want to protect and provide for. If no one is protecting and providing for you, stop trying to make it a whole blanket situation where it's just a mass amount of men that don't want to protect and provide for women. Men have no problem protecting and providing for a woman, for they woman, for the woman they chose, for the woman they love and care for. If nobody ain't doing that for you, it's because nobody don't love and care for you like that. So you, instead of trying to make these fucking huge ass massive fucking issues and propaganda, how about you take that same time and energy to fix yourself? But it's easier to project and make it like you not the problem and it's some worldwide thing going on. Because again, it helps them sleep at night and it allows them to justify their existence and what they got going on without doing the work to course correct. If you say something wrong with just the whole dating environment in general, it protects them from having to fix themselves as a fucking individual. And I'm okay with it. If they like it, love it. I love it. You know, if they like it, I'm down just to hop on in the pool too.
Hey, do you want to go swimming?
because I ain't trying to change the mind. I just put the information out there. I already know they ain't finna listen. Keep it going. Keep it going. I like it. I like to see people flop and fail when they hard-headed and ignorant. I love when people got all the answers, right? But none of the motherfucking outcomes.
Oh my God!
You have to love it. So you saw what that guy had to say. He said it straight up clearly, but it gets even more proof that there's not a male loneliness epidemic. Again, more complaints, more complaints, more complaints.
Dude, I really don't know what it is, but whenever I make eye contact with men, I look at them and I'm like, ew. Like, I get disgusted. Like, why are you so ugly? Why are you looking at me? Why are you looking at me and then why are you so ugly? Or the other way around.
Ladies, before you ask the question of why don't men approach women anymore, why don't men take the initiative to approach, to go up and talk to women, ask them out on dates, it's because you have videos like this. And this ain't the only video that's out here in the internet like this. Like, you got plenty of other videos of women saying the same thing. Don't even look my way. Oh, ew, why are you even bothering to look my way? Why are you approaching me if you are ugly, if you are unattractive? Men see this kind of stuff, ladies. Okay, they see videos like this, so they're going to assume, okay, yeah, a lot of women are like this, especially nowadays in 2024. With the rise of social media, shaming tactics. You know, look, listen, I have whole safety car videos for women, so I understand women's safety. I really do. I get it. And men are creeps. But at the same time, the truth is the truth. And the truth is that a lot of women make it bad for y'all. You know what I mean? To not want to be approached, you know, or for men to not want to approach y'all by saying things like this. Okay? And when you say things like this, it's a red flag to me because it makes it seem like, okay, she must speak for a lot of women. And, you know, listen, every dude ain't gonna be like me. I'm a confident dude. I'm gonna shoot my shot regardless of what women are saying. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I understand the fact that men don't really see a point in approaching when you have videos like this out. You know what I mean? Women like this are gonna be single for a long time. I'm just keeping it a buck. So ladies, this is what you gotta understand.
What about anything she said makes it enticing to approach her? And it gets worse, people. Again, I don't know why these women are so aggressive and why nobody didn't teach them you get more bees with honey than vinegar. You attract more people with pleasant demeanor instead of sheer aggression demands. Sign language just don't work. I don't know why we gotta tell people shaming, insults, and guilt and need to be right just isn't a good method. Attacking someone isn't a good technique to get what you want. But I feel you see her it's a male loneliness epidemic, but she asking why the men don't approach her. Here go another one. It's a male loneliness epidemic, right? But listen closely and see who sound like they lonely.
Part 2 of why men don't come to brunches.
That I got of angry black men dogging us out so bad, saying how we want y'all to.
Part 2 of why men don't come to brunches.
That I got of angry black men dogging us out so bad, saying how we want y'all to pay for stuff and just the lies. If I'm inviting you to a brunch, that means me and my girls already got our tickets and our tables. What do we need your stuff for? What's that little money gonna do? Majority of the women making more money anyway. So why would I care for that? All I said was, we want to hang with y'all. Why I can't say we want to hang with the black men? Why can't the black men come enjoy a brunch with us and chill and just eat and have a good time? You be home by 6 and watch the game. Why would y'all rather choose being with all men? I never seen a world where men be so thirsty to just be with men and not women. And complain when women invite y'all to something. We just want to have a good time with y'all. Why y'all so mad at us? That's so weird, and we the same skin. We supposed to be hanging together anyway, not against each other. It sound like y'all don't like us. Answer that. Do y'all like black women still? What do we do? Because I know I ain't did no bad stuff to black men. Like, I love black men. I ain't never even dated a white man before. I'm so loyal. I don't understand that. Please, we just want y'all to hang with us. That's it. Have fun with us.
Several things wrong with this, but we're gonna get to the end of it first. I haven't dated a white man before because I'm so loyal. Or is it because they don't want you? I'm telling you, man, white dudes need to really start checking these chicks and start taking the offense. They really think that white men just take anything. They really think that the only reason they not with white men is because they don't want white men or that they so loyal to black men. As if they be like, okay, finna wake up and get me a quality white man, that the quality white man gonna just start lining up. The sheer arrogance of that shit is insane to me. But that's not the worst part of this video. No. You heard it. The clear sign language. Why do y'all like hanging with dudes so much? It's a male loneliness epidemic, a lonely male epidemic. Let them tell it, but they the ones begging for company. We don't want y'all. I mean, her whole proposal was a turn off. We just want y'all to hang with us. We don't care about y'all little money. We make more money than y'all anyway. Blah, blah, blah. Like, does any of that sound like someone you want to sit and have brunch with? I'm gonna run it back. Tell me, is this the kind of energy that's saying that's going to convince someone to spend their afternoon with you? This is terrible marketing. This is a terrible sales pitch. It's like walking to somebody, yo, bitch ass nigga, sucker, goofy ass nigga. I got this business idea for a lame ass nigga that don't know how to invest, and I just want you to give me some of your money. It's like trying to, you know what I'm saying? It's like giving that as a business proposition. Listen to this shit.
Part 2 of why men don't come to brunches.
That I got of angry black men dogging us out so bad, saying how we want y'all to pay for stuff and just the lies. If I'm inviting you to a brunch, that means me and my girls already got our tickets and our tables. What do we need your stuff for? What's that little money gonna do? Majority.
What's that little? So now you got So now, first of all, you lying. Then now you got little money. So what your little money gonna do? So now you got little money.
Majority of the women making more money anyway. So why?
The majority of them making more money anyway, which has been proven and debunked countless times, by the way. For the people that make the most money, they also do the most begging. How the people that make the most money is always asking for a provider male? If y'all make the most money and know this, how the hell am I going to provide for the motherfucker that make more money than me? Walking contradictions.
Why would I care for that? All I said was, we want to hang with y'all. Why I can't say we want to hang with the black men? Why can't the black men come enjoy a brunch with us and chill and just eat and have us? We want to hang with y'all. Why I can't say we want to hang with the black men? Why can't the black men come enjoy a brunch with us and chill and just eat and have a good time? You be home by 6 and watch the game. Why would y'all rather choose being with all men? I never seen a world where men be so thirsty to just be with me.
It's a lonely male epidemic, right? sound like somebody was begging for company, begging for male presence, and that person from the looks was not a man. Again, it's a lonely male epidemic. But this is going on.
Because when I walked in, it was packed. And what do you think I saw? What do you think I saw?
What did you see?
Exactly what I thought I was going to see.
What?
80 women sitting alone. No men in sight. None. I saw so many black women try to solve a problem in dating by starting to host events in person, trying to create third spaces to facilitate dating like offline. And you know what would happen every single time? The men were not signing up. They would be selling tickets to speed dating, and they would always end up with men's tickets on sale. Always, because they weren't buying any. Just the other day, a big account that I follow for black creatives did like this cute Cupid thing where they were like, hey, send us a profile about yourself and we would love to post it and like play matchmaker. Sounds like a cute idea, right? Not one single man sent their profile in. And mind you, this is an account that has well over 100,000. Just the other day, a big account that I follow for black creatives did like this cute Cupid thing where they were like, hey, send us a profile about yourself and we would love to post it and like play matchmaker. Sounds like a cute idea, right? Not one single man sent their profile in. And mind you, this is an account that has well over 100,000 followers. It's just time to stop. It's time to stop. They have made it very loud and clear that they do not
singles event, and here's why I think we're doomed to be single for the rest of our lives. That was a bit dramatic, but let me tell my story. So I went to singles night at Union Church's Charlotte campus. Now, I don't go to that church, but I started following Pastor Stephen since he was a guest pastor at my church earlier this month. And when I found out that he was writing a book on dating and relationships, I was interested because, listen, your girl could use some divine intervention in that area. But I'll be honest, I didn't want to go at first. I figured it's a Christian singles event. There's going to be 50, 11 women there and like 2 men. Plus, they were advertising it as a conversation that you wouldn't expect to have at church. And I thought, I've heard enough of those modern dating and relationship podcasts. I don't need to hear any more, especially not with a...
It's weird that this video is doing this because I'm not even playing it from the internet. I got this video downloaded to this fucking app. I downloaded it and I uploaded it to the software I use to stream to avoid playing videos on the Wi-Fi shit. And it's doing this.
Story. So I went to singles night at Union Church's Charlotte campus. Now, I don't go to that church, but I started following Pastor Stephen since he was a guest pastor at my church earlier this month. And when I found out that he was writing a book on dating and relationships, I was interested because, listen, your girl could use some divine intervention in that area. But I'll be honest, I didn't want to go at first. I figured it's a Christian singles event. There's going to be 50, 11 women there and like 2 men. Plus, they were advertising it as a conversation that you wouldn't expect to have at church. And I thought, I've heard enough of those modern dating and relationship podcasts. I don't need to hear any more, especially not with a biblical spin. Instead of having meaningful conversations about finding and building Christ-centered relationships,
We just left the event. I think we were just saying that we think that we've actually hit rock bottom.
No, it was actually...
We think we've actually hit rock bottom, and I think we were either punked, catfished, or...
It felt like a sick
And my spirit, while I was there, my spirit told me, no mas, por favor. I am not going to no more of these, okay? That rhymed. period. I'm not going to anymore, and here's why. So that singles event was cool because they actually had a mix and mingle session at the end where they put us in a very cool atmosphere for people to talk and meet with each other. Although there was like 3 men there and 300 women, I loved the fact that they did that. I thought that was really cool. But my thing is,
3 men and 300 women at a singles event, but it's a lonely male epidemic. Again, if there was mass starvation, if there was mass male starvation, you think only 3 men gonna show up to a place that was handing out sandwiches? If man needs something and wants something, and that something is somewhere, men are gonna go there and get it. Men are not showing up to these events. It's because they don't want to. They don't want what y'all selling. They don't want the product. The fact that they are hosting events all over the country and the world, and women are showing up at drastically higher number than men, it 100% proves that the lonely male epidemic is simply some made up feminist bullshit that women need to get a fake win over men for whatever weird reason, because it's not a competition. It's not men are not having a who is the most miserable competition with women. But for whatever reason, they always competing with us, even to the detriment and destruction of their life in their bodies. Oh, a man get to sleep with as many women as he want, and he don't get seen this way, so I want to do it because a man do. Well, guess what? You the one that's pregnant. You the one with 3 baby daddies. You crying on TikTok a single mom. You the one with the oatmeal pie stomach and the saddle bad titties and all the stuff that come from having multiple kids. You the one that damn near died while giving birth, not the man. You're competing with someone that's not even playing the same sport as you. We're not in the same contest. There is no competition because we in different lanes.
thing is, you go to one single event, you go to them all. They got the same message, and I'm going to tell y'all what they be saying so that you can know ahead of time. If you feel like you're called to go, go. If you feel like the Lord is telling you to go, go. If you've never been, go. If you want to mix and mingle with other single people, go.
This woman don't even sound happy or pleasant. Why you? Because she's not an unattractive woman. And wondering why you at single events. You don't even, they be miserable, bro. And they miserable, right? And want to be, and getting mad at men because he don't want to come partake in their doom and gloom. Or get pulled into their shit.
Mingle session at the end where they put us in and my spirit, while I was there, my spirit told me no más, por favor. I am not going to no more of these. Okay? That rhymed. Period. I'm not going to anymore. And here's why. So that singles event was cool because they actually had a mix and mingle session at the end where they put us in a very cool atmosphere for people to talk and meet with each other. Although there was like 3 men there and 300 women, I loved the fact that they did that. I thought that was really cool. But my thing is, you go to one single event, you go to them all. They got the same message, and I'm going to tell y'all what they be saying so that you can know ahead of time. If you feel like you're called to go, go. If you feel like the Lord is telling you to go, go. If you've never been, go. If you want to mix and mingle with other single people, go. But let me tell you, this is going to be the singles conference starter pack. I'm going to tell you what you're going to get. Okay?
I'm going to get hate for this, but whatever. I approached a black man this week at like a dating event, and he was not interested in me, and That by itself is like not a great story, right? I tried to shoot my shot. He was not interested. I moved on. But immediately after I walked away from this man, he went up to a group of 5 white women and he introduced himself to all of them. And then I kind of observed out of like the corner of my eye for the rest of the evening, this man was only going up and talking to different white women. Later that night, another very attractive black man came in, the exact same thing, only talked to the white women that were in the room. There were maybe 6 or 7 black women throughout. And I could tell, I would look over at the black women occasionally, they would be looking, we would all be observing the same thing. We're all thinking the same thing, right? And as someone who has reviewed a bunch of different like dating events, I have seen this play out so many times where you walk into a room, the black women are looking for other black men and the black men are not looking for black women. Unless the host of the event is like a black person or a person of color. And as much as I say that I am going to start dating outside my race, my mind, whenever I walk into
And there they go with that again. You can start, they really think that dating outside their race is going to get them outcomes at some great number. Again, the simple fact and the reality of it is that the vast majority of people date someone that looks like them. You know what? Y'all get the gist of this. Only a person that already came to believe something would think that it's some kind of massive lonely male epidemic. We see who's trying, who's going to events. They pay money to get tickets to go to these events. Men not showing up at all. But we, the ones with the lonely male epidemic? You hear an event in your city where it's going to be all kinds of single ladies and you're like, nah, I'm good. That's not what a lonely dude, that's not the kind of numbers that an epidemic would reflect. It's just logically, statistically, and fundamentally observable reality, whatever you want to fucking psychologically, whatever you want to believe in. The math simply isn't mathing, people. Now, is anything I said going to get someone, anything I said or shown is not going to get someone that needs to believe there is a lonely male epidemic to see that there's no such thing and it don't exist. But that's not what I'm here for. Because the great thing about it, I'm gonna quote my old channel, truth and reality is undefeated. It don't matter what they believe or what they think. The proof is in the outcomes. The proof is in what's actually freaking happening. And the reality is and I'm finna pay you this Pew Research data. Pew Research, it's kind of old, but trust me, the numbers haven't changed. But let's see if I can find the most current. And white men are men, and I like to speak up for men. So I'm going to defend them to a degree, because like I said before, they can't say this because it'll come off as racist. But the simple truth is, most white men, especially the kind most black women want, they got their shit together, ain't flocking up to marry a black woman. And a woman can't go have 2 kids, get overweight, do all this, and then black man tripping, I'm just gonna go get a white man. That's just disrespectful. They so disrespectful, they don't understand how disrespectful they is. But their statement pretty much means it's saying that white man don't have no standards and to take anything. Because if your own man don't want you, I'm just gonna go over here and get a white man because they take anything. That's pretty much the sentiment that they give when they say that. And it's disrespectful as fuck. But white men don't care enough and acknowledge their goofiness because they know it ain't so. And they act as if white women just gonna sit back there and cross their arms and let the good pics of their men be taken by sisters. They so arrogant, they think they can just live their life how they want and choose to divest and get white men to take them and shoot white women to the side as they take their men. They're gonna bag the white man and throw the white women in the ditch like, move, bitch, give me your man. Huh? What the fuck? Oh, hell no! The sheer delusion. But if you don't believe me, with detailed census data from 2010 to 2021, we gonna let the numbers tell y'all how this divesting shit really works. I already know, but I like to, use my co-host sometimes. Cause I get tired of talking, cause my throat be, feeling dry and shit. When you're doing solo shows like this, it's a lot of yapping. I've been yapping for almost 2 hours. So we're gonna let my homegirl, ChatGPT, cover down for me and do some of the yapping and break down the insanity that is the ideology of I can date outside my race at my command, at my will. And yeah. And everything's gonna be okay for me.
Here's the most current detailed breakdown of which race of men are most likely to marry which race of women in the US, based on recent Here's the most current detailed breakdown of which race of men are most likely to marry which race of women in the US, based on recent census-derived data as of about 2010 to 2021. Hanversha, top interracial pairings by male race. White men most commonly marry Hispanic women. 43% of white men's interracial marriages. Next most common, Asian women, Quacha's 14%. Then black women, 12%. Site, Turn Search 24. Black men most frequently marry white women. 89% of black men's interracial marriages. Other pairings are much smaller, including a few Asian or multiracial spouses. Such. Asian men most commonly marry Asian women, intra-race percent. But among interracial matches, 29% marry white women, and taught at 8% Merak women. Site eTurn Search 24, Turn Search 2025. Hispanic men, data from 2010 census patterns. Hispanic men predominantly marry within their group, but among interracial marriages, white women are the most frequent non-Hispanic spouse. Summary table, top spouse race, share of interracial marriages. White Hispanic women, 43% of white men's interracial marriages. Black, white women, 89%. Asian women, intrarace, 82%. Among interracial matches, white 29%. Hispanic, white women interracial, majority among interracial pairings. Key takeaways. White men overwhelmingly choose Hispanic women for interracial marriages, 43%. Black men in interracial relationships most frequently marry white women, 89%. Asian men mostly end up in intra-race marriages, 82%, but among those who are intermarried, white women account for 29%. Hispanic men in interracial pairings most commonly marry white women, though they also frequently marry within their group. Context and trends. Across all interracial marriages nationwide, white Hispanic unions are the most common, 42%, followed by white Asian, 14 to 15%, and white Black, 12%. Site Turn Search 9, Turn Search 24. These patterns have held fairly steady in the past decade, reflecting population sizes, social dynamics, and partner selection trends. Let me know if you'd like a gendered angle, i.e., comparisons for women marrying other race men, state-level breakdowns, or updates with the 2020-2021 census once fully released.
Look at ChatGPT. She's like a personal secretary and extra thorough with it. Someone's at my door. Just a second. Pull back, Prince. Yeah. So as y'all see, the magical divesting bullet isn't as magical as they want, as they claim. But let's get a little more thorough into it, because I ain't gonna lie, I like pissing on delusion. So this the prompt I typed in. Percent of races of men who marry black women. Because they always talking about divesting. And they often, I understand there's more men out there than just white men. We're going to see the percent of who's marrying them and who's not. And it starts as white, black, Asian, Latino. And it's going to prove categorically that they can step out all they want. The percentage of that being successful is bad. Then almost change the gender and see how it works for us. Just the test. But let's listen to these numbers, people. It's ridiculous. And despite these numbers, of course, every last single one of them, I think they'll be part of that 0.2% of exception. And I love it. And I like to let them think that. But the exceptions are usually the extraordinary women, either extraordinary mentally, personality-wise, physically, financially. They're extraordinary in some kind of way. Why would I Most people just just a simple fact that the vast majority of people marry within their own race should be enough to let them know that it ain't working over here. I'm just finna go get a white man. I'm just finna date outside my race. Most people just don't want to do that. I don't care if you see interracial relationships and every time you step outside, percentages matter. It don't matter if it's a 20 million interracial marriages in this country. Look how many people in this country, you know? But we're gonna let my co-host again break it down, pay close attention to the numbers. They're quite funny.
Here's the most current data on what percentage of men from different races marry black women based on the latest U.S. Census-derived figures. Married to black women, men by race. White men. About 0.4% of married white men are married to black women. Site turned search 669. Black men. Nearly all intraracial pairing dominates. Josh 95% of married black men are married to black women. Only 88% are married to white women, 4% to Hispanic women, the remainder with other races. Site turn search 1 turn search 3. Asian men, a small share, about 0.2% of married Asian men are married to black women. Site turn search 1 turn search 16 on. Hispanic Latino men, similarly low. Around sauce 0.4% of married Hispanic men are married to black women. Site turn search 1 turn search. Summary table, men's race, percent married to black women. Notes, white, Josh 0.4%, very low interracial pairing. Black, 95%, majority of black men marry within their race. Asian, 1.2%, rare pairing. Hispanic, 0.4%, also rare. Tash key takeaways. Black men overwhelmingly marry black women, 95%, with small interracial pairings. 8 to white women, 4% to Hispanics. White, Asian, and Hispanic men each marry black women at roughly 0.2 to a very small fraction of their married male populations. If you want a breakdown for dating versus married, trends over.
If that couldn't convince a person that thought otherwise, nothing would. Nothing would. I mean, that breakdown was so clear, concise, and precise and undeniable. It breaks down, it destroys so much bullshit rhetoric in this sector. The black man don't want to marry the black women when 95% of married black men are married to black women. Overwhelmingly married to black women. These are the words they use. Majority. Nearly all. 95% of black men are married to black women. Yet we don't love them. So if you're a black woman that can't get a black man, it's not because black men don't want black women. It's because the men you want don't want you. So fix whatever it is. Instead of acting like, again, they personal flaws and failures and make it into a mass issue with men, when it's really something you need to fix within yourself. But you're never going to do that as long as you continue to make it a mass issue with fucking men. Divesting, not going to work. You better fix yourself. 0.4% of white dudes want you. 0.2 are Asian. And 0.4 Hispanic, but 95% of us marry black women. But that love would never get this. What I just said right here, I ain't never heard said on YouTube before, by a man or woman. These numbers, these crucial, undeniable proof type numbers. Because one thing they know for sure, if you legally married in this country, your race is on file of every legal marriage. If it ain't a legal marriage, we ain't talking about that other stuff. It's enough legal marriages for these stats to fucking matter. Oh, definitely black men taken for granted. Cause they will argue that this ain't so. Now, I'm not saying the majority of women are married, but the ones that are, it's by black men. Men on screen, I'm going to divest, I'm going to divest. See, a lot of women like to confuse passport bros with divestors. They try to make it synonymous. But a passport bro don't mean you don't want a woman of African descent. Passport bros go to Africa and get the blackest of the black women. It's Western women that passport boys try to get it from. Passport bros and divesting is not the same. Because black women of African descent that look just like me are all over the goddamn planet. You can go to Germany and get a sister. Spain, Italy, the UK. Come on now. Y'all see all the UK drill rappers? Them dudes look like fucking Africans. It's literally whole black cities and communities in London. And we're going to act like black people ain't everywhere? You can fly somewhere and find a sister. So passport bros is not synonymous with divestors. It's not, and they fundamentally know that. But it's again one of those things when you need to believe something to push your agenda or narrative, you are going to do it. And there's nothing you can do to convince those people. Again, my content ain't never for convincing or changing minds. I just talk about shit, put out information, and do with it what you do. I prefer stupid people not to believe when I throw out facts. When I put out information and you choose to ignore it and don't believe it, I'm happy. I'm good. I'm happy with it. Because that means I tried to help a motherfucker, but they chose to suffer. Let me switch this prompt up. What percent of women who marry black men? Like I said, I ain't gonna say it's drastically high because again, the vast majority of people compared to men marry people of their own race, obviously. But they like to scream like nobody don't want us but them. When the when the reality is that most people marry people of their own race, but more women are willing to marry, more other races are willing to marry a black man than other races are willing to marry you get what I'm saying? Because remember, the numbers for when the men that are married black women was 0 point something. So the fact that these numbers are whole numbers says a lot. They low, but they whole numbers. These people numbers was 0.2, 0.4. Didn't even get to a whole number, which shows how bad it was. But we're gonna just let, again, my co-host run this back. But remember, they was 0.2, 0.4, which kind of much. You already know my point has been proven just by me laying that out.
Here are the most recent and reliable statistics on the percentages of married women by race who are married to black men in the U.S. Married women. Married to black men by race. Black women. 87% of married black women are married to black men. Cite turn search for turn search 11. White women. Among married black men, 8% are married to white women. 2021 data. Cite turn search 3, turn search 4. Note, this reflects spouses of black men. As a proportion of all married white women, it's a much smaller fraction. Hispanic women. About 4% of married black men are married to Hispanic women. Asian and others. The remaining share, 3% or less, includes Asian and other race women. Cite turn search 26, turn search bull. Race of woman percent married to black men. Notes, black 87%. Majority, strong interracial marriage. Cite turn search 11. White, 8%. Non-black women among black men, cert 3. Hispanic, 4%. Smaller share, cite turn search. Asian other, 1 to 3%. Asian and multiracial women combined, cite turn search 26, turn search 3. Key insights. Interracial marriage dominates. Black women overwhelmingly marry black men, 87%. Among black men who marry out, white women are the most common interracial partners, 8%, followed by Hispanic women, 4%. Asian and other race women make up a small portion, 1 to 3%. Let me know if you'd like absolute counts, trends over time, or comparable stats for men who marry black women.
Okay, y'all heard enough. Y'all get the gist of it. I gotta get out of here. I gotta take care of some things. I gotta try to find some tickets for Superman. Check on my daughter and get ready to go to the gym. Hopefully it won't take me 5 or 6 hours like it did yesterday, but who knows? Time management. But I still go though, and that's all that matters. But anyway, this being your boy Unc. Unc been streaming your favorite Unc that ain't no punk, that's gonna keep it real, uncut, and unfiltered at all times. Thanks for checking me out. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and please share. Doesn't cost you a penny, a nickel, a dime, or nothing. It's 100% free, so please do it. Like, subscribe, comment, and share. Helps the channel the most, helps the channel grow, get me back in the algorithm. It would be greatly appreciated. With that said, Unc be streaming and Unc be out. Might come back and game tonight. Depends on what time I can get to the gym and how I feel afterwards. I do have an early morning tomorrow, so I'm probably going to do an early morning show, maybe 10 a.m. to like 12:30, because I got to take my dog to an appointment. 10 a.m. to 1, depending on how the show flowing, but that's 3 hours. I only need like 2 because I'm up here by myself, and it's really hard pressed for me to get out for 3 hours unless I'm playing a whole bunch of review videos and stuff and letting the review do a lot of the talking. Anyway, deuces, I'm out, yo. Peace.
Type shit. DJ K.